Teacher, I'm turning down the special admission to Qingbei. Only 2 days left until the college entrance exam. Luoqing number 1 high school, senior class 1. The top student in the humanities track, Lucas Reed, had the audacity to reject a special admission offer from Qingbei University. The entire class was stunned. Everyone turned to stare at him. Top scholar. Has he studied himself into a breakdown? You know what Qingbei is, right? The Qingbei Research Academy. The world's top research institution. Only a true genius could pull this off. Damn it. Most of us wouldn't even qualify for a shot at it. And he's throwing it away? That's infuriating. Lucas rejected Qingbei's offer right in front of everyone, but no one dared to mock him, because he had the right to choose. If he wanted every top-tier research institute in Xia country, heck, the entire world would roll out the red carpet for him. The class advisor, Ms. Nora Wade, blinked her wide, expressive eyes and cautiously asked, "Are you planning to apply to another research academy? If that's what you want, as long as it's before the exam starts, I can still help you submit an application." Lucas shook his head. "Thank you, Ms. Wade, but I want to take the Marshall exam." The class? Ms. Wade? Had he lost his mind? Was he out of his freaking mind? A humanities student, with only 2 days until the college entrance exam, suddenly wanted to take the Marshall exam? That's like a kid who's never trained physically deciding to compete in a sports exam on the eve of the test. Ms. Wade's face darkened. She planted both hands on Lucas's desk. Her expression deadly serious. Her chest heaved slightly with frustration. "Lucas, not just anyone can take the Marshall exam. You awakened 10 years ago, but your vitality is barely at 10 points. You should stick to the humanities path." Seeing the unwavering determination in Lucas's eyes, Ms. Wade felt a headache coming on and nearly lost her temper. Luoqing no. One high school had worked hard to secure a special admission spot to Qingbei. They couldn't afford any last-minute screw-ups. Lowering her voice, she tried to reason with him. The Marshall exam means facing ferocious beasts. You could die. This is about your entire future. Please think it over carefully. Ms. Wade poured her heart into her plea. But Lucas remained unmoved, like water off a duck's back. Finally, some classmates couldn't hold back anymore and started whispering. Is something wrong with Lucas's head? Passing up Qingbei to take the Marshall exam. With his measly 10 vitality points, he'd just be serving himself up as beast chow. Until now, Lucas had been untouchable, an existence they could only admire. He was good-looking, brilliant, and had a direct ticket to Qingbei. Only the elite Marshall students in the class could even compare to him. But now, if he took the Marshall exam, the whole class would crush him. Despite all the opposition, Lucas stood firm. "MS. Wade, I hear you, and you're right. But I'm still taking the Marshall exam." If this were yesterday, he never would have made such a crazy decision. But now everything had changed. Just last night, he transmigrated into this body, his soul taking over someone who died from pulling an all-nighter. And more importantly, he'd activated the golden finger. With a single thought, a holographic interface popped up in his mind. Daily class settlement system. Activate this system, and all your classmates will become your cultivation tools. Through daily settlements, you will harvest all their cultivation gains. Count down to first settlement. 3 hours. Note, the first settlement comes with an extra-large reward. Lucas was thrilled beyond belief. He didn't know exactly how powerful this system was yet, but just reading those lines sent a rush of excitement through him. In other words, the entire class of over 30 students was now cultivating for him. Lucas glanced around the classroom. From now on, this whole class is working for me. With such an overpowered golden finger, how could he not ditch academics for martial arts? Sure, being a researcher wasn't bad. It came with money and status. But it couldn't compare to being a martial artist. In this world, martial prowess reigned supreme. Before 2025, this world was much like the Earth he'd known. But after the spiritual energy revival, everything changed dramatically. The Earth's surface expanded tenfold. Ferocious beasts thousands of meters tall roamed freely. And savage insectoid swarms invaded from beyond the stars. Fortunately, the path of martial arts had been unearthed. After centuries of development, martial arts had reached the divine realm. Though humanity had risen again, beast tides and disasters were relentless. In this body's memories, Lucas had witnessed 2 minor beast tides and 1 major one. Each time, Blood flowed like rivers. Against beasts towering tens of meters tall, ordinary people were nothing but food. Only by walking the martial path could one stand against these creatures and seize control of their fate in this chaotic world. He didn't want to be some obscure researcher. In a world brimming with danger, strength was the only truth. He wanted to become the strongest martial artist, tearing beasts apart with his hands, crushing insectoids underfoot. And most importantly, in his past life, he'd fought his way out of the brutal Shanha 4 provinces. Now that he'd transmigrated, was he really going to spend his days buried in homework? MS. Wade stood at the podium, once again stressing the importance of the college entrance exam and reminding everyone to prepare thoroughly. 10 years of sharpening your blade. Today, it's time to show your edge. The day after tomorrow is your battlefield. These 2 days are for you to adjust your mindset. Stay focused. When fighting beasts, you need to concentrate on the battle while keeping your safety first. Those of you choosing the humanities track also need to stay calm and avoid panicking during the exam. As for students taking specialized exams, in this world, the college entrance exam was split into 2 tracks, academic and martial. Academic students were generally safer. They didn't have to face beasts directly. If they excelled, they might even earn the protection of martial artists. But the martial track was far more dangerous. During the exam, martial candidates would venture into the wild, facing beasts in life or death battles. Ms. Wade compiled the martial candidates' info and displayed it on the board. Senior class, one of Luoqing No. One high school had decent martial results. The class had 5 quasi-martial artists. Their talents weren't exceptional, but they were incredibly diligent. They had a strong chance of getting into top martial academies. In this world, martial artists were the most revered profession. Around age 10, teenagers awakened their vitality. Through cultivating techniques and training their bodies, they increased their HP. At 80 vitality points, they were called quasi-martial artists. At 100, they became true martial artists. But the path of cultivation was grueling. It demanded relentless daily training, year after year, to truly embark on the martial path. Those who focused on vitality were called vitality martial artists. Some, however, had special talents, awakening not just vitality, but unique abilities like telekinesis, strength enhancement, blood energy burst. These are called gifted martial artists, prodigies among martial artists. Those with gifts grew in vitality and combat power far faster than ordinary martial artists. In Class 1, there were 2 gifted martial artists. Both had reached level 2 martial artist status. If they took the martial exam, they were guaranteed to get into top martial academies. With outstanding results, they might even rank among the top 10 martial academies in the country. Lucas, are you really not going to Qingbei? A guy with a middle-parted hairstyle asked. Nope. Lucas shook his head. The guy was his best friend, Connor Tate. They'd been tight since they were kids. Practically inseparable. Connor's cultivation talent was pretty much non-existent, but when Lucas's predecessor decided to pursue a career in scientific research, Connor set his sights on the entertainment industry. To him, ferocious beasts were terrifying, and anyone daring enough to take the martial exam was a hero. You could have waltzed into Qingbei with a free pass, and instead, you're going to risk your life fighting beasts. Connor gave him a thumbs up. Man, you're something else, Lucas. Lucas grinned. What, want to join me? Just call me Dad, and I'll make sure you get into one of the top 10 martial academies. No way, no way. Connor waved his hands frantically. I'm not dragging down the future martial exam champion. I'll stick to film school, posting with hot actresses, and living the good life. You go do your thing. He added with a laugh. One day, you'll dominate the martial world, and I'll be running the entertainment scene. Connor's carefree joking didn't carry any pretense, but his offhand comment sparked something in Lucas. If he could become the martial exam champion, he'd get into the best martial academy and join the elite class. That meant a crew of top-tier, high-quality teammates. No more slacking off. He needed to boost his combat strength and stand out in the martial exam, but he couldn't rush it. First, he had to see what the system's settlement would yield and whether it could propel him to that level. As Lucas and Connor stepped out of the school gates, a petite girl with delicate features and a cute, cat-like charm approached them. Are you really taking the martial exam? She asked softly. Her name was Wendy Olson, Lucas's other childhood friend alongside Connor. The 3 had grown up together. Unlike Connor, Wendy had decent martial talent. But her personality was so timid she barely spoke above a whisper, let alone faced off against ferocious beasts. The idea of her fighting in the martial exam seemed far-fetched. Lucas nodded. You bet. Connor chimed in. Lucas is about to become the martial exam champion. His loud boasting drew stares from passers-by, making Wendy's hair stand on end. She hated being the center of attention. Don't worry, Lucas, she murmured, her voice barely audible. On the battlefield, I'll protect you. Lucas shook his head. Just focus on keeping yourself safe. Wendy lowered her head, muttering to herself. I'm just bad at talking, but I'm actually really strong. Lucas turned back, flashing a toothy grin. I know. Good luck on the exam. Let's both aim for the top 10 martial academies. At Crimson Moon Apartments, Lucas pushed open the door to a clean, tidy home. His parents had died 10 years ago during a beast tide, sacrificing themselves to save others. Now, he lived with his aunt, Nora Hart, a relic researcher who spent most of her time exploring mysterious ruins. That left Lucas alone in the house most of the time. Back at his room, he pulled up the system interface. Name, Lucas Reed. Vitality, 10. Mental strength, 9. Talent, none. Martial skill, Demon Wine / beginner. Technique, 8th breathing method, beginner. The countdown had ended. System, daily class settlement. First class settlement grants an additional reward, full absorption of all classmate strength. Leo Hunt, awakened talent, strength enhancement, trained diligently for 10 years, vitality 280. Mia Stone, awakened talent, hyperfrequency, slacked for 10 years, vitality 130. Dexter Lee, didn't train hard for 10 years, vitality 50. Ben, vitality 22. Zoe, vitality 15. Info on all 38 classmates appeared. The average vitality in Class 12A1 was about 41.8. Absorbing the entire class's vitality, Lucas's original 10 points skyrocketed over 100-fold. The three major realms were Martial Artist, Master, and Grandmaster, each with 9 levels. Level 1 Martial Artist, 100 vitality points. Each level up doubled the required vitality. Lucas's vitality now stood at 1,590 points. In other words, he was a peak level 4 martial artist. A peak level 4 at 18. For students with poor talent, raising even 1 vitality point was a struggle. His predecessor, after 8 years of awakening, couldn't break past 10. Now, lying on his bed, Lucas had surged to 1,580 points. The reward was beyond insane. These 1,590 points represented 10 years of his classmates' collective effort, propelling him to level 4 in a single leap. Pure bliss. As his vitality soared, his body began to transform. Thump, thump, thump. His heartbeat pounded like a war drum, vitality surging through his veins like a raging river. White mist even started rising from his body. Boom! A loud explosion echoed as his vitality erupted. The entire room shook violently. The chandelier swayed, its crystals cracking. Neighbors upstairs and downstairs felt the tremor, panic spreading. Holy crap, that vitality surge. Could it be a beast attack? Mom, is it a beast? We gotta run. Kid, think positive. Maybe it's just an earthquake. The high-rise erupted into chaos. With beast threats so common, everyone was on edge. Some immediately called city defense, requesting martial artist support. In his room, Lucas was lost in the euphoria of his newfound strength, oblivious to the commotion outside. Breaking through 4 levels at once, his veins, bones, and muscles were tempered by the surging vitality. Even his life force grew slightly stronger. Phew! Lucas exhaled, his eyes gleaming. So strong. Feeling the terrifying power coursing through him, he instinctively stretched his limbs. Crack! Crack! The moment his foot touched the floor, a loud snap rang out. The tiles shattered, cracks spiderwebbing outward. Just his aura alone carried such force. Truly a peak level 4 martial artist. After breaking a few more tiles, Lucas adjusted to his new strength. Strength and vitality were directly linked. Each vitality point equaled 10 kilograms of punching force. A person with 100 vitality could unleash 1,000 kilograms of force. By that logic, Lucas could now throw a punch with 15,900 kilograms of force. Staring at his fist, he realized a full-force punch could seriously injure someone on the spot. And that wasn't all. Beyond vitality, his mental strength was also spiking. Two talents appeared on his system panel. Strength Enhancement, B. Hyperfrequency, C. The B-rank Strength Enhancement boosted his power by 30%. The C-rank Hyperfrequency increased his mental strength by about 10%. Wait a second. Why was there a third talent? Lucas's eyes widened as he spotted a new skill on the system panel. Awakened Telekinesis, A+. Talents were ranked X, SSS, SS, S, A, B, C, D, E. A B-rank talent was already 1 in 10,000. An A rank could place in the top 3 province-wide. S rank and above, snapped up by the top 10 martial academies long ago. Lucas never imagined that tiny Luoqing High School was hiding a freak with an A+ talent, and it was awakened telekinesis. This meant he could become a psychic master. Psychic master ranks mirrored vitality martial artists. 100 mental strength points made a level 1 psychic master. With 700 mental strength points, Lucas was a level 3 psychic master. Sure, only level 3, and his mental strength was less than half his vitality. But psychic masters could challenge vitality martial artists 2 levels above them without talents. That showed just how terrifying psychic masters were. Checking the system log, Lucas dug into who could have hidden such a talent. Then he saw a name that floored him. Wendy Olsen. This world was at war, with a massive gap between human and beast strength. Masters and above were busy fighting beasts, leaving cities with few high-level experts. Strength hierarchy, 3 major realms. Martial artist, master, grandmaster. Ordinary person, 10 HP. Quasi-martial artist, 80 HP. Level 1 martial artist, 100 HP, 1,000 kilograms force. Level 2, 200 HP, 2,000 kilograms. Level 3, 400 HP, 4,000 kilograms. Level 4, 800 HP, 8,000 kilograms. Level 5, 1,600 HP, 16,000 kilograms. Level 6, 3200 HP, 32,000 Kilogramm. Level 7, 6,400 HP, 64,000 kilograms. Level 8, 12,800 HP, 128,000 kilograms. Level 9, 25,600 HP, 256,000 kg. Mental strength and vitality are entirely different. The higher your mental strength, the more powerful your force. A cold, commanding voice echoed through the forest. A burly middle-aged man, gripping 2 AKs, fired wildly ahead in a frenzy. Hot, tot, tot, tot. Not far away stood a petite, delicate girl with a charming face. Her eyes were blindfolded with a black cloth. 5 flying knives hovered in the air, spinning at high speed. Bullets rained down, but the 5 knives danced under her fingertips, slicing through the air in an instant. The blades moved as if they had eyes of their own. Each bullet was split cleanly in half. Clink, clink. The AKs were nearly empty, but the man wasn't satisfied. It's still not enough. Your will isn't firm enough. Your blades lack resolve. Do you still want to avenge your mother? Edo. The girl's young voice carried a chilling edge of killing intent. Then cut down every beast. Destroy everything in your path, the man roared, his voice shaking the trees. Kill. The girl shifted her stance, her raging psychic force wrapping around the 5 knives, tearing through the surrounding trees in a whirlwind of destruction. At that moment, the noise of the training drew a beast's attention. A massive demon bear, over 3 meters tall, reared up on its hind legs. Before the man could react, the girl shot forward like a bullet. Kill. The 5 knives traced eerie arcs, striking the demon bear with pinpoint precision. A peak level 1 beast, felled in an instant, its throat slashed. Blood sprayed everywhere. A few drops landed on Wendy's face, adding a terrifying edge to her delicate, doll-like appearance. If Lucas had seen this, he had been floored. In his memories, the timid girl who could barely face people was a berserker against beasts. Class: Luoqing High School, Senior Class 1. Name: Wendy Olsen. Vitality: 145, Level 1 Martial Artist. Mental Strength: 235, Level 2 Psychic Master. Talent: Awakened Telekinesis, A+. Technique: Psychic Sense Proficient. Evaluation: A genius combining talent. Effort: and combat experience, a true dark horse. This girl, Lucas pictured Wendy, frail and fearful. With this kind of strength, people should be scared of her. He shook his head, but her awakened telekinesis talent intrigued him. He tested his own psychic force. Suddenly, it was like he had a 360-degree eye with no blind spots, a radar-like vision picking up details invisible to the naked eye. Cracks in the wall, specks of dust in the air, all within his sight. This, I could also manipulate objects. With a thought, the room's lock clicked open from the outside. Trash floated out and sorted itself into the bin. Using his psychic force, Lucas grabbed a fruit knife from the kitchen. Under his control, it peeled an apple with precision. Now let's test its damage. Whoosh! The knife, wrapped in psychic energy, shot out at terrifying speed, piercing straight through the door. The alloy door was punctured by a mere fruit knife. Lucas was stunned. That's insane. This ability to control objects remotely was the power he'd dreamed of in his past life. Though back then, he'd imagined using it to flick lights on and off, toss trash, or prank roommates. In this life, it was for killing enemies. Checking the system panel, Lucas's confidence surged. Peak level 4 martial artist. Level 3 psychic master. +2 talents for short bursts of enhanced strength and psychic skills. The top 10 martial academies? Practically guaranteed. But now he wondered if entering the exam with his strength was a bit too unfair. Like a college student taking an elementary school test. Looking at the shattered floor tiles, broken glass, and the hole in the reinforced door, Lucas scratched his head. Got carried away. How'd I wreck the place like this? If his aunt saw this mess, she'd kill him. Outside, a young man stared at the fruit knife, embedded an inch from his crotch, sweat dripping down his forehead. 1 centimeter off, and his little brother would have been history before it ever saw action. Furious, he pounded on the door. City police, apartment 1401. Drop your weapon and open the door now. Lucas froze. With a thought, the door slowly creaked open. Several uniformed martial officers, wielding long blades, stormed in systematically. They stopped short at the sight of Lucas standing in the living room, wearing SpongeBob boxer shorts. Looks like a student, one muttered. Doesn't seem like a dangerous type, or like he's being coerced, another added. Let's assess the situation first, a third said. The officers whispered, strategizing. A friendly-looking young officer smiled. You okay? Any danger here? Like a beast, maybe? Lucas shook his head. For safety, the defense team did a quick sweep, confirming no beasts were lurking. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But the room bore signs of a powerful vitality surge. The officers started questioning Lucas. He didn't hide anything. No big deal. Just lost control a bit while breaking through a martial realm. The team didn't doubt him. His vitality was still slightly chaotic, a clear sign of a breakthrough. But the scale of the disturbance, it was a bit much, wasn't it? Could this kid be a genius? One officer, curious, asked, So, mind telling us what level you broke through to? With that kind of power, it couldn't be level 1 or 2. At least level 3. Maybe even level 4. An 18-year-old with that strength? All eyes locked on Lucas, waiting for his answer. He shrugged. Hard to say. Let's just say pretty strong. Silence. After the defense team left, Lucas returned to his room and checked the system panel. Name, Lucas Reed. Vitality, 1590, level 4 martial artist. Mental strength, 783, level 3 psychic master. Talents, awakened telekinesis, A+, strength enhancement, B, hyperfrequency, C. Martial skill, demon wind / perfect. Techniques, 8th breathing method, perfect. Psychic sense, proficient. Demon wind / was a basic blade technique taught at Luoqing High School. Every student in senior class 1 had practiced it. After absorbing his classmates' insights, Lucas had elevated demon wind / from beginner to perfect mastery. Martial skills and techniques were ranked. Beginner, proficient, mastered, perfect. As for psychic sense, only when he had trained in psychic abilities, so its mastery was only at proficient. A slight pity, just 10 more vitality points, and he'd break through to level 5 martial artist. Lucas stared at his vitality stat. 1,590. 2 days until the exam. Those workhorses better keep training hard. Only if they grind can I enter the martial exam as a level 5. After using the settlement system, Lucas fully grasped its mechanics. Simple. All his classmates' strength belonged to him. boosting his combat power. Produce. Anyone marked as a classmate remained one forever, even after graduation. In other words, once a tool, always a tool. The more classes he joined, the more tools he'd collect. There was a catch. Though, a new class's average strength had to surpass the previous one for the system to accept it. With the college entrance exam looming, most of senior class 1 was cramming at home. Those with means used pills or even rare spiritual items to boost their training. But pills and items were insanely expensive. Before becoming an official martial artist, pill usage was heavily limited. The cheapest option, a vitality pill, cost 10,000 yuan a pop. Even that was out of reach for most families. They could only train the hard way. While others slaved away, Lucas leisurely scrolled through novels on his phone, reading and pestering an author with the pen name Lazy Cat Landlord. Lost in his phone, time flew by. A day passed in a blink. Past 9 p.m. After a grueling day of training, senior class 1 students were exhausted, venting in the group chat. Foodie Fiend, trained all day, finally gained 1 vitality point. So tired. Ow. Big Dumb Spring, ugh, my dad borrowed money for 2 vitality pills and my vitality didn't budge. So embarrassing. No way nuns. I broke through. I did it. Beat Dumbung, Gonggat, Li. You're definitely getting into a top martial academy. Poop on a stick, go to bed early, save energy for tomorrow. Nora Wade, advisor, keep it up. Everyone, balance work and rest. Watching his workhorses chat lively in the group, Lucas's head filled with question marks. These slackers had no discipline. The chat wound down. It was only 9 p.m., and they were already heading to bed? Insane. Lucas, angry. The exam's the day after tomorrow, and you're not training? You're going to sleep? You're young. How can you sleep at a time like this? I worked so hard and didn't even gain a single point. Top scholar, have you ever trained? Do you know how brutal it is? Boosting vitality is way tougher than solving math problems. You get that, right? I'm practically killing myself training. Forget it. Let's play games. Time to climb ranks in honor of kings. Not only did Lucas's words fail to spark any drive in his classmates, they seemed to rile them up even more. For these quasi-martial artists, training all day wasn't physically taxing. They could meditate for a bit and recover their energy quickly. But grinding all day with no results? That was mentally exhausting. Plus, digesting vitality pills took time. Overloading on them didn't just fail to help, it could stagnate their vitality. I'm done. I took 5 vitality pills. Didn't gain a single point, and my dad's about to whoop me. Man, 50,000 yuan down the drain. Seeing his beloved workhorses ready to hit the sack, Lucas tried again, laying on the emotional and logical appeal. You're all quasi-martial artists with solid vitality. You don't need much sleep. The college entrance exam is almost here. You know how critical it is. It'll shape your entire future. At this crucial moment, shouldn't you be training with everything you've got? Every point of vitality you gain could let you surpass millions on the martial exam battlefield, giving you a better shot at defeating beasts. A few points difference in beast kills could get you into a top martial academy, or even catch the eye of the elite ones. It's not impossible. If you push through to the very end, anything can happen on the exam battlefield. Lucas racked his brain, channeling the hustle culture, chicken soup motivational quotes, and wolf mentality from his past life. Big Dumb Spring. Kinda makes sense. Some classmates started to waver. As quasi-martial artists, they had plenty of stamina. A few hours of meditation could replace sleep. So why waste precious time? They should be training. Big Dumb Spring. No wonder Lucas got a special pass to Qingbei. He gets what effort means. For those with low vitality, this exam was a long shot. But Lucas's words lit a fire. Many had already given their all, but now they were ready to train harder, hoping to defy the odds in the exam. All night training for the martial exam. I'm going all in. But I'm so tired. Do we really need to push this hard? Feeling tired? Lucas unleashed his final weapon, suffering glorifying motivational rhetoric. Only through pain can you become a hero. Young and tired? No way. Only by fighting can you seize a brighter future. Lucas was fuming. These workhorses dared to feel tired? No way. If he didn't train, how could he improve? How could he claim the martial exam champion title? These lazy tools had zero initiative. Finally, with his triple combo of chicken soup, suffering worship, and wolf culture, senior class 1 of Luoqing No. 1 high school was set ablaze with passion. No one was going to bed. Let's do this. Lucas is right. The college entrance exam is our biggest shot. It's our chance to change our fate. For the exam, we gotta give it everything. Go hard. I'm off to train later. Sleep? Who's sleeping? Train. Ms. Nora Wade, the class advisor, fresh from a shower and toweling her hair, was stunned by the group chat's transformation. Didn't she tell them to balance work and rest? Why was no one sleeping? She scrolled through the chat history. Lucas's words, they're not wrong. Quasi-martial artists could skip a few hours of sleep without issue. With that in mind, MS. Wade didn't dampen their enthusiasm. Senior Class 1 went all in, training, popping pills, pushing to the last second. After rallying his workhorses, Lucas flopped onto his bed, phone in hand. God-tier novel, engage. That night, at 10 p.m., Lucas decided to check the settlement panel. Daily settlement time. With the exam looming, the whole class was training like mad. Dexter Lee took 5 vitality pills and trained 10 hours, vitality +2. Winnie Olson had a light, fun sparring session, vitality +1. Leo Hunt underwent intense training. Connor Tate practiced dance moves, no gains. Dexter Lee, skipping meals and sleep to train, was the hardest worker today. Lucas reviewed the daily settlement. Thrilled. Dexter's the MVP today. Not bad. Not bad. You're the top ox, the best horse. Today's settlement netted 8 vitality points. Just 2 more, and he'd hit level 5 martial artist. Tomorrow was the last day before the exam. No problem. Meanwhile, in Luoqing's wealthy district, a guy and a girl wrapped up a private training session. They were the 2 genius martial artists of Senior Class 1, Mia Stone and Leo Hunt. Exhausted after a day of intense training, Mia was ready to crash. But then she saw the group chat blowing up, 99+ messages. She opened it casually. 7 bold words caught her eye. Lucas Reed rejects Qingbei special admission. Was he insane? Mia wouldn't stand for it, because she was Lucas's girlfriend. As a martial genius, Mia had gotten with Lucas believing he'd go to Qingbei and become a researcher. There was a saying, marry a researcher, live easy, and avoid hardship. Mia was dead serious about marriage. Lucas was her ideal husband, but only if he went to Qingbei. That was her ticket to a secure future. Lucas had just dozed off when his phone buzzed, jolting him awake. Mia, with your 10 vitality points, why take the martial exam? Mia, are you crazy? Mia, I'm ordering you to tell the advisor you're sticking with Qingbei's Research Institute. Mia, or we're done. Smile. Don't worry. This subplot is short and won't drag. Lucas blinked. Who was she to order him around? Was she nuts? Freshly transmigrated, Lucas had been too busy mastering the system and prodding his workhorses to train. He hadn't sorted through his predecessor's messy memories. Mia? It clicked. Mia Stone, his body's childhood sweetheart. Their families, both military, had been close. They'd even been betrothed as kids. But 10 years ago, during the Beast Tide, Lucas's parents died, saving Mia. After that, her family distanced themselves. His predecessor, though, was smitten with her, always groveling and sucking up. Mia played along, never committing, never rejecting, never taking responsibility. Only when he got the Qingbei special admission did she confess her feelings. With a catch, a 388 million yuan dowry demand. The memories made Lucas nauseous. He fired off 2 blunt, bold words. Idiot. Then blocked her. Mia stared at the crude insult glaring on her screen, her face flushing red. Are you insane, Lucas? Red exclamation mark. Blocked. Lucas, you dare block me? She was so furious she nearly fainted. Her vitality surged, shattering the toilet bowl. I'm so mad, I'm so mad. Lucas, just wait. If I get the chance, I'll make you pay. The day before the college entrance exam, Senior Class 1 was a hive of activity. Many students had trained through the night. As dawn broke, they rushed to buy higher-grade vitality pills. Of course, even more turned to the black market for pills with side effects. These were more potent, but came with risks, sometimes draining their long-term potential. As Lucas had said, getting into a top university and securing elite resources required sacrifice. Most of Senior Class 1 was fired up by his words from the previous night. They trained relentlessly, knowing this was their turning point. Seize this chance, and they could outshine millions in the exam. One step ahead now meant staying ahead for life. In the upscale villa district of Luoqing's wealthy enclave, a burly young man pushed open Mia Stone's door. Mia, haven't you seen the class chat? Everyone's buying pills. I got some vitality-boosting pills myself. They got side effects, but you want in? Leo Hunt, the strongest student in senior class 1. A late-stage level 2 martial artist. Incredibly powerful. He was one of Mia's spare tires. The pill in his hand was a rare type called the blood surge pill. It could trigger an explosive vitality boost for a day or two. But it burned through your potential. Worse, for male martial artists, it had a severe side effect. It messed with the little brother downstairs. Hence its nickname, Brother Blaster Pill. No guy in their right mind would touch it. Mia hesitated. Blood surge pill, but the consequences. Leo, unfazed, puffed out his chest. No big deal. I don't need that anyway. Mia. Impressive. To get stronger, you've got to be ready to sacrifice everything. Mia forced a smile. She nodded along, but mentally crossed Leo off her spare tire list. Then she pulled out her own pill. Pitch black, radiating a chilling aura. Forbidden pill. Leo gasped. Exactly as it sounded. Forbidden pills were banned from production. They consumed your life force. The stronger the boost, the more life it drained. Leo wavered. Losing his little brother function? Fine. But a forbidden pill could kill him if he wasn't careful. Mia ran a hand across Leo's chest. If you get into a better school and secure more resources, you can make up for it later. Don't be scared. This forbidden pill was hard to get. Even with my Stone family connections, I could only snag one. It's yours. Pretty generous, right? Mia whispered into Leo's ear. Overjoyed, Leo didn't dare act on his impulses, but nodded eagerly. Thank you, Mia. In the martial exam, I'll protect you no matter what. Mia's eyes gleamed seductively. All right, I'm counting on you tomorrow. Beyond these two ruthless players, others in senior class 1 were also using risky pills. Most weren't as extreme as Leo, though, opting for milder side effects. Will breaker pill. Explosive vitality growth for 3 days, followed by a month of diarrhea. Flesh melt pill. Forcibly breaks down your body's flesh to boost vitality. Others forcibly enhance stamina, but cause insomnia or hair loss. In the early days of the spiritual energy revival, countless pills with side effects were developed. Those with severe consequences were classified as forbidden pills, banned from production and use. Milder ones still circulated on the black market. At Crimson Moon Apartments, Lucas's phone buzzed repeatedly. A name kept popping up. Nora Hart. Auntie, his only living relative in this life. Nora, didn't you always want to go to Qingbei's Research Institute? Why'd you turn it down? And now you're joining the martial exam? Are you trying to get yourself killed? I want to become a martial artist. Lucas typed slowly. Silence from the other end. His aunt's status stayed typing for ages. Nora, you know your parents died because of martial arts, right? I know. Nora, you know, and you're still going? Do you have a death wish? I'm stronger than they were. I won't die. With the system's help, Lucas was already a level 4 martial artist, a level 3 psychic master, and had 2 martial talents. In the martial exam, the real threat was the beasts, not him. After a long pause, just as Lucas was about to close the chat, a transfer notification popped up. Nora Hart has transferred 1 million yuan to your account. Nora, a little gift from your auntie. Buy some defensive gear and don't die. I'm not picking up your corpse. Lucas chuckled and shook his head. Don't worry, I'm not dying. His aunt was a talker. Gorgeous, with a soothing voice, and generous to boot. Right now, Lucas needed a weapon. With 1 million yuan, he could hit up Treasure Pavilion and snag something decent. He pocketed his phone and headed out. Downstairs, a gaggle of elderly neighbors swarmed him. Lucas, what was that ruckus at your place yesterday? You okay? I'm fine, Aunt Lou, don't worry. Good. Your auntie told us to look after you before she left. As long as you're okay. You're off to college soon. Heading to the library? Nah, I'm gonna buy a weapon. A weapon? Aren't you going to Qingbei? Not Qingbei. I'm taking the martial exam. Lucas had grown up in Crimson Moon Apartments, surrounded by familiar faces. Since his parents were former soldiers, the neighbors doted on him, always checking in. Hearing he was skipping Qingbei for the martial exam, the elderly residents erupted. Why pass up Qingbei for the martial exam? This kid, the martial exam's dangerous. Those beasts are terrifying. Hope his parents are watching over him from above. Leaving Crimson Moon, Lucas hailed a ride to Luoqing's glitziest commercial strip. He stopped before a towering, modern building topped with a gaudy golden dragon. The over-the-top design screamed tacky rather than majestic. Below the dragon, a flamboyant sign read 3 bold words. Treasure Pavilion. the world's largest trading consortium, with branches in nearly every major city. If a martial artist needed it, Treasure Pavilion had it. If you could dream it, they could sell it. Today, the place was buzzing. Oddly, no staff greeted him at the entrance. As Lucas stepped inside, a black-clad staff member hurried over. "My apologies, sir. We're holding a promotion." "Oh, are you a martial exam candidate? Want to join? A promotion?" Lucas glanced at the lobby, where a dozen people were gathered. "What's the deal?" The staff member led him toward the crowd, explaining, "The Grand Treasure Challenge. It's designed by our store manager for martial exam candidates." In the center of the crowd was a small, makeshift arena, about 10 square meters. At its heart stood a turtle shell-shaped shield, a level 3 defensive shield, forged from pure alloy, unbreakable. Around the arena were various weapons, swords, spears, axes, all level 3 alloy, incredibly valuable. The staff member pointed at the black tortoise shield. "Use any weapon from the arena. Leave a mark on the black tortoise shield, and you'll win 100,000 yuan. Break the shield, and you can pick any weapon from Treasure Pavilion's first floor." Lucas nodded. So that's the game. Treasure Pavilion was playing big. First floor weapons were level 3. Basic level 1 weapons cost 200,000 to 300,000 yuan. Level 3 weapons ran around 1 million, and level 3 psychic weapons could hit tens of millions, and they were giving them away. But the black tortoise shield was a level 3 defensive weapon, forged from alloy designed to withstand a level 3 martial artist's full force. Leaving a mark was a tall order for exam candidates. Breaking it? Practically impossible. Just then, a hulking figure over 2 meters tall shoved through the crowd. "Out of the way, let me try." A wild roar erupted from the crowd, so loud it nearly burst eardrums. The newcomer was a hulking figure with a bronzed physique, radiating raw intensity. His white-dyed hair spiked upward like an explosion, and at over 2 meters tall, he looked like a ferocious beast. His presence was suffocating. Some covered their ears, turning away in annoyance. But one glance at his mountain-like frame silenced any complaints. They could only force a smile. Lucas frowned, curious. "Who's that guy?" The black-clad staff member beside him looked stunned. "Tyson Shaw. He's got a B-rank strength talent and is a level 2 martial artist. When he uses his talent, he could take on level 3 martial artists. He's one of Luoqing's elite. Likely a top contender in the martial exam." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "So that's him. But man, the guy looked old. Like a middle-aged brute. If you didn't know better, you'd think he was a candidate's dad. 18 years old? Who looks like that at 18? Tyson Shaw was something of a local celebrity. Many in the arena recognized him. "It's Tyson Shaw. Damn, a monster like him is taking the challenge? There's hope now." In a real fight, Tyson might not beat a level 3 martial artist, but for raw destructive power, most level 3s can't match him. Many bet on Tyson breaking the black tortoise shield. The Treasure Pavilion manager, however, remained unfazed, his expression calm. Lucas wasn't impressed either. The black tortoise shield was forged from a special alloy, capable of withstanding a level 3 beast attack. Without his talent, Tyson wouldn't even scratch it. Tyson grabbed a massive level 3 axe from the arena, twirling it effortlessly. His aura shifted. A terrifying surge of vitality coursed through him, his skin turning a deep crimson. Combined with his B-rank strength enhancement, his arms bulged with rippling muscles, veins pulsing like writhing worms. The axe smashed down on the black tortoise shield with a deafening whoosh that echoed through Treasure Pavilion. Most of the crowd covered their ears, eyes wide as the shield went flying. It hit the ground, intact. Failure. If even Tyson Shaw can't break it, no one in Luocheng can. Wait, someone noticed a small dent in the center of the shield. Tyson had left a mark. He's the first martial candidate today to mark the black tortoise shield. That's Tyson for you. His martial skills must be at the mastered level. When it comes to raw power, few martial candidates in Luocheng can match him. The guy's a freak of strength. The manager picked up the shield, showing the crowd the dent. Per the rules, leaving a mark on the black tortoise shield earns a 100,000 yuan cash prize. Congratulations, Tyson Shaw. Good luck tomorrow. Surrounded by cheers, Tyson grinned smugly. When I make a move, I don't go home empty-handed. He strutted off to spend his prize money in Treasure Pavilion. Tyson's success and 100,000 yuan win whipped the crowd into a frenzy. But faced with the black tortoise shield, those lacking confidence didn't dare try. From the back of the crowd, someone stepped forward. Lucas Reed strolled onto the arena. It's him. The black-clad staff member gasped, covering her mouth. Others turned to look. Who's that? Another Luocheng prodigy. Lucas Reed? Isn't he the one specially admitted to Qingbei? Why is he here challenging? Lucas was a known figure at Luocheng No. 1 High School. Some students recognized him instantly. Tyson, browsing inside Treasure Pavilion, heard the commotion and glanced back. One look at Lucas, and he lost interest. Not sticking around for the next challenge? A staff member asked. Tyson scoffed. In this city, besides me, no one's leaving a mark on that shield. He was supremely confident in his strength. Lucas presented his prepared ID, letting the manager verify his identity. He casually picked up a straight-blade tang sword from the arena. The blade was sleek, its edges razor-sharp, with 3 blood grooves running along its length. He flicked the blade lightly, testing its balance. As he gripped the sword, his aura shifted, becoming razor-sharp and intense. The manager's eyes widened. This isn't good. This kid's a master. His instincts screamed that this young man was far stronger than Tyson. At least a level 3 martial artist. Luocheng was hiding a talent like this? The crowd and other candidates sensed Lucas's aura shift when he held the sword but didn't grasp what it meant. All eyes were on him. Lucas raised the tang sword and struck. Demon Wind, slash. Swish. The blade sliced through the black tortoise shield, leaving a clean white streak. Then, crack. The level 3 alloy shield split in two. The cut was mirror smooth. The crowd froze, unable to believe their eyes. A moment later, the uproar was louder than ever. Holy crap, someone actually broke the black tortoise shield. This guy's way stronger than Tyson. A sharp-eyed spectator chimed in. Tyson's axe swing was powerful, shaking the whole arena, but his force was scattered, wasting most of it. Lucas, though, his strike focused every ounce of power into the blade. Not a single bit of strength was wasted. Perfect control. Demon Wind slash at perfect mastery. The manager, Golden Leaf, stood slack-jawed. A genius. An absolute prodigy. Hurry, bring him inside. Golden Leaf personally escorted Lucas deeper into Treasure Pavilion. Young man, you're incredible. All first-floor weapons are yours to choose from today. Lucas scanned the first floor. His gaze swept over the weapons. Treasure Pavilion's first floor was stocked with level 3 weapons, similar to those in the arena, but far greater in number. His eyes locked onto a set of flying swords encased in glass. Psychic weapons, rare and exorbitantly priced. The set contained 9 short swords, each level 3. Their price far exceeded standard level 3 weapons. The manager of Treasure Pavilion, Golden Leaf, watched wide-eyed as Lucas picked up the set of 9 level 3 flying swords. His jaw practically hit the floor. Young Master Reed, you're choosing this set of flying swords? Lucas nodded, running his fingers over the blades. Crafted from some unknown material, they shimmered like jade, translucent yet sturdy. He casually grabbed one sword and stepped into the arena. Swish! Without using psychic force, relying solely on physical strength, Lucas flung the sword. It pierced the black tortoise shield without resistance, leaving a clean hole. Nice! Lucas was pleased. This was just his body strength. If he used his psychic force to control all 9 swords at once, he could riddle an enemy with holes in an instant. The manager's face twisted like he'd bitten into a bitter melon. Though reluctant, he didn't go back on his word. This set is called Jade Wish, forged by a master craftsman. It's among the finest level 3 weapons. If you can control all 9 swords with psychic force, the power is staggering, but that requires at least a level 4 psychic master. Produce. Jade Wish is infused with a deadly poison you can manipulate with psychic force. In battle, you can silently inject it into a beast for a fatal strike. Lucas nodded, handing the Jade Wish set to the black-clad staff member. Please wrap it up for me. He could see the manager's pain, but it followed the challenge rules and earned his prize fair and square. No need to worry about saving face. Then Lucas wandered the shop. I still need a battle sword. Golden Leaf personally guided him, explaining the pros and cons of various weapons. Limited by budget, Lucas settled on the level 3 tang sword he tested in the arena. It was a standard military-grade weapon, sharp, durable, and cost-effective. Only 1.2 million yuan. Lucas winced at the price. I'm still a student. Any chance for a discount? He only had 1 million. Golden Leaf's mouth twitched. It had been ages since he'd met a student this formidable. In the end, Lucas snagged the Tang sword for 990,000 yuan and got a free alloy combat suit thrown in. As Lucas left, Tyson Shaw, lingering in Treasure Pavilion, muttered, "Monster. An absolute monster. I'm not sharing an exam arena with that freak tomorrow. The pressure's too much. It'll throw me off my game." With no extra cash, Lucas took the bus home. By the time he got back, night had fallen. Time for the daily settlement. Daily settlement. Leo Hunt used 2 Brother Blaster pills and 1 Life Burn pill. Vitality plus 135. Mia Stone used 1 Brother Blaster pill. Vitality plus 33. Dexter Lee used 3 Flesh Melt pills. Leo Hunt, in pursuit of strength, used high-risk pills with severe side effects, making him today's hardest worker. Hiss. Ruthless bunch. Lucas scanned the settlement, sucking in a breath. Brother Blaster pills? Who could stomach those? Savage. No wonder Leo was the top workhorse today. Still, Lucas was grateful. Thanks to their grind, his vitality surged again, breaking through to level 5 martial artist. Name, Lucas Reed. Vitality, 1778, level 5 martial artist. Mental strength, 783, level 3 psychic master. Talents, awakened telekinesis, A+. Strength enhancement, B. Hyper frequency, C. Martial skill, demon wine / perfect. Techniques, 8th breathing method, perfect. Psychic sense proficient. His surging vitality washed through his bones, muscles, and veins. Level 5 martial artist. Finally, add his peak level 3 psychic master abilities. 2 combat boosting talents, a perfect level sword technique, and level 3 weapons. The Tang sword and Jade Wish. Lucas was confident he could take on a level 6 beast. This strength made him the undisputed top monster among Luoqing's martial candidates. In Senior Class 1's group chat, students were buzzing about their conditions. So sleepy, I can't take it. Pulled an all-nighter yesterday. Been up 36 hours and chugged coffee packets. I'm sleepy too, but for the exam. For our future, we can't collapse now. Classmates, I'm taking a cold shower and getting back to training. I popped 2 more stamina pills. Lucas scrolled through the chat, nodding in approval. That's the spirit of a true workhorse, pushing themselves to the max. The night before the exam, all Asia country was on high alert. Cities enforced strict curfews. And the military swept the martial exam zones for powerful beasts. The next morning, Crimson Moon Apartments was decked with banners. Good luck on the college entrance exam. National Exam Day, wishing all candidates victory. The exam was today. Academic and martial exams started simultaneously. Martial candidates had to gather at designated points, board armored vehicles, and head to the exam battlegrounds outside the city. Lucas rose early, donning his alloy combat suit and black combat boots. The form-fitting armor accentuated his tall, muscular frame. Though just a basic suit, not even level 1, it was made from beast hide, balancing defense and mobility without hindering combat. Most importantly, it looked badass. Tang sword in hand. Lucas stepped out. At Bright Moon Apartments, a woman held Mia Stone's hand, giving her advice. Didn't you say Lucas isn't going to Qingbei and is taking the martial exam instead? If you see him on the battlefield, help him out. His parents saved you back then. You owe him that much. Otherwise, people will say our family's ungrateful. Mia's mirkt epsilon. Her tone vicious. Don't worry, if I get the chance, I'll take good care of him. Luocheng, in Zhongzhou province, wasn't a major city, but it still had over 20,000 martial exam candidates. To organize the exam, 10 assembly points were set up by school and class. Candidates followed instructions to find their class's spot, boarded armored vehicles, and headed to the battlegrounds. Stay safe out there. Those beasts are animals. Show no mercy. Most candidates were escorted by their parents due to the exam's danger. Lucas had no one to see him off, but got a text from his aunt. Stay safe. Don't be a hero like your parents. Be selfish. If someone pisses you off, beat them to a pulp. If you can't win, run. Don't play the fool, got it? Lucas smiled faintly. With his strength, the martial exam posed no danger. He hopped onto the armored vehicle for Senior Class 1, Luoqing No. 1 High School. His appearance drew every eye. Is that Lucas? Damn, he's hot. In that armor, his vibe's totally different. He's got real martial artist swagger. Why does he feel so different? Lucas stood out in the vehicle. He'd always been good-looking, but his low vitality and Mia's constant belittling had made him insecure, with a frail frame and dull eyes. Now, a chiseled physique, sharp gaze, and an inner confidence that transformed him. The girls in the class were starry-eyed. So hot. I'm gonna cry. He's perfect. Sit next to me, please. Even MS. Nora Wade was taken aback. In just 2 days, Lucas had changed dramatically. Shama came so late. She didn't try to dissuade him anymore, just nodded and whispered, "Stay safe." She uploaded his data to the system. Candidate, Lucas Reed. Vitality, 10. Mental strength, ***, 9. Talents, none. Since Lucas's switch to the martial exam was last minute. He'd missed the school's recent tests. Ms. Wade could only submit his data from 6 months ago. Having taught him for 3 years, she knew his cultivation was abysmal. His stats hadn't changed in 2 years, so she sent them as is. Since Connor wasn't taking the martial exam, Lucas sat next to Wendy Olson. She was a bundle of nerves, even her toes curled in tension. Lucas grinned. "Let's do this." Seeing her anxiety, he shook his head. This girl hid her strength too well. Who'd guess this shy kid was the strongest in Class 1? No, aside from Lucas. The strongest in the school. Maybe even Luochun? A Level 2 psychic master. Soon, armored vehicles, escorted by Luochung's military guard, carried the martial candidates toward the battlegrounds outside the city. With humanity locked in a life-or-death war against ferocious beasts, the exam carried even greater weight. To ensure the martial exam ran smoothly, all battlegrounds nationwide were overseen by military martial artists. Though these soldiers had modest martial prowess, their firearms were more than enough to handle low-level beasts. Additionally, lower-tier martial artists, armed with live ammunition, patrolled the exam zones to protect candidates. Energy cannons from the war zones were even deployed for extra security. Around Luochung, 10 mountains have been cleared to serve as martial exam battlegrounds. Just half a month ago, these peaks were overrun by beasts. Now, after military sweeps, each mountain was divided into 4 zones. Lower tier, swarming with unranked beasts, plus level 1 and 2 beasts. Designed for weaker candidates, akin to a multiple-choice section. With decent luck, anyone could kill a couple. Middle and upper tiers, higher-grade beasts, escalating in strength. Central zone, home to level 4 beasts and a single level 5 beast as the ultimate boss. Reserved for top candidates vying for the highest scores. Escorted by the military, the armored vehicles roared into the outskirts and halted outside the martial exam battleground. A warm voice crackled over the loudspeaker. "Attention, all candidates. Armored Vehicle 2124 has reached its destination. Please gather your belongings to avoid loss." The students disembarked. The moment they stepped off, a thick stench of blood hit them. The ground was littered with bones, shredded flesh, and dried bloodstains. Many students paled, some vomiting by the roadside. Most had never left the city before the exam. They'd seen beast images or encountered caged, restrained ones. But stepping outside the city, the raw, pungent smell of blood was overwhelming. With the crowd, Senior Class 1 trekked to the base of a massive mountain range. This is our exam site. Mount Laojun. Damn, just our luck. Why'd we get Mount Laojun? Faces fell. Even Ms. Nora Wade looked grim. Before the spiritual energy revival, Mount Laojun was a famed scenic spot in Xia country. Post-revival, it had transformed dramatically, taller, more treacherous, and crawling with beasts. Though the military had cleared it, the mountain's rugged terrain and winding paths meant some beasts lingered. Mount Laojun was notorious as the death exam site, with the highest casualty rate among Luochung's martial exam zones. "This isn't fair," a Class 1 student cried, trembling. "Fair? There's no such thing as fair in this world. Only a strong fist brings justice." A group of 23 students strode forward, silencing the crowd. They were the elite class from Luochung Experimental High School. Rumor had it you needed at least level 2 martial artist strength to join, with even stronger prodigies among them. It's just Mount Laojun. Look at these cowards. Scaredy cats like them don't deserve to be martial artists. They should go raise pigs. The elite class oozed arrogance, barely acknowledging the other candidates. To them, their only real competition was within their own ranks. But Tyson Shaw, usually the loudmouth of the elite class, was oddly quiet. "Tyson, you scared too?" a sword-wielding elite student asked. Tyson shot him a look. "Me scared? I just don't want to face that freak on the battlefield." "What freak?" Tyson's words piqued the elite class's interest. They were the ones usually called freaks. Tyson glanced at Class 1. "Point is, no one in our elite class is his match." That sparked outrage. The elites followed Tyson's gaze, landing on Lucas. Lucas had drawn the full attention of the elite class. "Seems ordinary. Aside from being good-looking, nothing special." "Ordinary?" "Yesterday, he split a level 3 shield with one slash." "You call that ordinary?" Tyson recalled the scene, still shaken. "A level 3 shield." The elites gasped. "Class leader, could you break a level 3 shield?" the sword wielder asked. The elite class leader was a young monk, barely 11 or 12 years old, named Holy Heart. Rumor had it he came from a desolate temple, its monks slaughtered by beasts, leaving him the sole survivor. "Umitba, this monk is incapable." Holy Heart's eyes were grave. That kind of strength wasn't just strong, it was monstrous. At least, Holy Heart knew he couldn't do it. Not unless he unleashed his golden body dharma talent. In senior class 1, at the back of the group, a guy and a girl stood side by side. Mia Stone and Leo Hunt. As two of the class's rare, gifted martial artists, they were the envy of their peers. But today, neither was in a mood to flaunt. After taking brother blaster pills, their vitality had spiked dramatically. Leo had even broken through to level 3 martial artist. But both felt awful. Leo turned, wincing as a sharp pain shot through his groin. It felt like it might explode. Brother blaster pills had side effects for women too. Mia was nursing a splitting headache. "It's fine. Push through," she muttered. Her eyes locked onto Lucas. It was all that bastard's fault. If he hadn't stirred up the class with his nonsense, why would they have resorted to brother blaster pills? Or even forbidden pills? The side effects were worse than expected. Their vitality rose, but their combat strength plummeted. In this state, fighting beast was suicide. Half an hour later, at Mount Lao Jun's exam site, over 2,000 martial candidates were ready to begin. A middle-aged man in military garb hovered above on a flight device, surveying the candidates below. "Silence!" His voice boomed, laced with powerful inner force. Under the pressure of his vitality, the noisy candidates fell quiet. Lucas frowned. The military's got real experts. At least a level 7 martial artist. With beasts rampant on the front lines, mobilizing this many martial artists and weapons was no small feat. Once the crowd settled, the officer continued. "I'm Wulong, Chief Overseer of the Mount Lao Jun Battlefield. Before we begin, some reminders. The exam runs from 10 a.m. today to 10 a.m. tomorrow. You must survive 24 hours on the battlefield. Mount Lao Jun is divided into 3 tiers: lower, middle, upper, and a central zone. The lower tier has unranked beasts. The middle tier has level 1 beasts, the upper tier level 2, and the central zone level 3. At key points, there are even stronger creatures. If you're confident, challenge them. This martial exam uses a point system. Killing beasts earns points. You can also gain points by exploring the map and surviving until the end. The more you explore, the longer you survive, the higher your score. If there are no objections, sign the life and death contract, collect your supplies, and enter the battlefield. Life and death contract. From the moment they chose the martial exam, candidates knew they'd have to sign it to enter. But now, faced with it, many showed fear. They were just 18, after all. "I don't want this. It's just an exam. Why a life and death contract? I'm out. I don't want to die." Some broke under the battlefield's brutality, choosing to withdraw. The military, teachers, and school officials stayed silent, expressionless, waiting for each candidate's decision. No one would influence them now. Every choice would shape their lives. Quit now, and they'd stay in the city as weaklings, barred from public resources, beauty, power, or wealth. To fight for a brighter future, they had to enter the battlefield and face the beasts. But the battlefield was a gamble with death. Some might be devoured the moment they stepped in. Most signed the contract, though their hearts raced and their faces stiffened. Some hands trembled. Lucas remained calm, signing the life and death contract without hesitation. Then he collected his supplies. Before each team, neatly arranged backpacks of supplies awaited. Each backpack contained just 3 items: food, a smartwatch, and an energy shield. The food was basic nutritional rations, tasteless but sufficient to sustain energy. The smartwatch had light positioning, recording, and beast sensing functions. It also tracked each candidate's beast kills for ranking purposes. The energy shield could be manually activated to block a single lethal attack, offering candidates a degree of protection. But if you couldn't trigger it in time and a beast got you, there was no saving you. After collecting their supplies, the candidates buzzed with excitement. Most were searching for teammates. In the exam, killing beasts earned points, whether solo or in a group. It didn't break any rules. Beasts, with their massive bodies, had a natural advantage over human martial artists. Teaming up was safer, but didn't always mean higher points. Points were split evenly among team members. The more teammates, the fewer points per person. Unless you stumbled on a beast horde, teams often had lower kill efficiency. Another reason for teaming up. Martial artists trained in different skills and talents, complementing each other's strengths and covering weaknesses. I'm skilled in swordsmanship, 85 vitality points. Looking for a teammate with similar strength to hunt low-tier beasts. Any team need a tank? I've got a hardening talent, super tough, can hold off level 1 beasts. I've got a C-rank fire affinity, trained in Bloodstained Blade, 115 vitality points. Need a tank. Wendy stood beside Lucas, clutching the hem of her shirt. If you're in danger, come find me. I'll protect you. Lucas nodded. You be careful too. No mercy for beasts. Wendy nodded vigorously, then stared at the ground, lost in thought. Initially, Lucas had been a bit worried about her. Her timid personality made her seem ill-suited for the battlefield. She could barely talk to people. But after seeing her true strength through the system, he relaxed. A level 2 psychic master. On the exam battlefield, she was no pushover. Even with her shy nature, her life wasn't at risk. Soon, 10 a.m. arrived. Enter the exam site. The overseeing officer bellowed. The candidates surged into Mount Lao Jun like a tidal wave. Hundreds of military martial artists and thousands of soldiers, equipped with flight devices, patrolled the mountain. Though low-tier, their advanced weaponry could easily handle lesser beasts. Dozens of small drones recorded the action. Soon, a candidate encountered a beast, a massive black leopard, standing over 1.7 meters at the shoulder. Its jet-black fur gleamed like ink, its golden eyes glowing faintly. Though unranked, this beast had lived long in the wild, ferocious and huge. It was a tough opponent. Ordinary candidates needed a team of 3 to 5 to take down a beast of this level. Its strength rivaled a full-fledged martial artist. With one swipe, it broke a young man's leg. Thanks to his energy shield absorbing most of the damage, he survived. Otherwise, he'd be dead. His teammates froze, legs trembling, retreating in panic. Don't kill me. I'm out. Help, I quit. The injured student sobbed, crawling backward. A military martial artist swooped down on a flight device, gravely wounding the leopard and driving it off. They then evacuated the injured student. No one mocked him. Facing a beast for the first time was terrifying. A 500 to 600 kilograms monster charging at you like a small mountain? Fear was natural. Ultimately, it came down to strength. With enough power, fear wouldn't hold you back. At the base of Mount Lao Jun, bloody battles raged. Students were occasionally carried off the mountain, while countless beasts lay dead in pools of blood. The elite class students, with their superior strength, racked up kills quickly. The young monk, Holy Heart, wore a serene expression but showed no mercy, felling unranked beasts with a single palm strike. On the leaderboard, all 23 elite class students dominated the top ranks. Candidates jostled, charging toward the peak of Mount Lao Jun to seize the advantage. Lucas ignored the low-tier beasts. Upon entering the battlefield, his smartwatch displayed key info. Countdown, 2350. 32. This marked the exam's time limit. When it hit 0, the exam ended. The leaderboard showed. Rank 1, Holy Heart, 30 points. Rank 8, Tyson Shaw, 15 points. Rank 23, 81, Lucas Reed, 0 points. They're moving fast, Lucas noted. He checked the map. The watch marked nearby beasts within 100 meters. White dots represented unranked beasts, 5 points each. Green for level 1, 10 points. Red for level 2, 50 points. And black for level 3 and above, at least 100 points. Beast ranks mirrored martial artists, from level 1 to 9. Unranked beasts were equivalent to quasi-martial artists. As a level 5 martial artist, Lucas had no interest in unranked beasts. His target was the central zone. He didn't linger in the lower tier or hunt actively, instead heading up the mountain. But then his watch flashed red. Map alert, hidden beast ahead. Candidates beware. A massive, vibrant patterned python coiled on a thick branch, hissing with a blood-red tongue. Without warning, its ferocious head lunged, exuding a terrifying aura. To Lucas, though, its movements were sluggish. Slow. Too slow. He didn't even pause. Without visible motion, a blinding arc of sword light tore through the forest darkness. The alloy tang sword had already severed the python's head. Killed unranked beast. Plus 5 points. Only 5 points? Lucas scoffed. Killing unranked beasts was barely worth it. He needed to climb higher for stronger prey. Wiping the blood off his sword on the python's body, he pressed upward. Most candidates hunted weaker beasts, but Lucas aimed for the mountain's stronger ones. Still, ignorant low-tier beasts kept throwing themselves at him. Killed unranked beast. Plus 5 points. Killed unranked beast. Plus 5 points. Killed unranked beast. Plus 5 points. Slaughtering these beasts felt like an adult bullying kindergartners. Boring. Even though he wasn't actively hunting, his points climbed fast. Swish. The gleaming tang sword was pulled from the neck of a shadow demon leopard. Lucas checked his smartwatch. Countdown. 15 hours, 52 minutes, and 11 seconds. His points had officially cracked the top 10. Rank 10, Lucas Reed. 275 points. Time flew. He'd crossed the middle tier of Mount Lao Jun and reached the edge of the upper tier. The middle tier was dominated by level 1 beasts. The upper tier was a playground for level 2 and even level 3 beasts. Most martial exam candidates stuck to the lower tier, hunting unranked beasts. Few dared venture into the middle tier, and those bold enough for the upper tier were rarer still. A few hundred meters away, Tyson Shaw, the elite student, saw Lucas heading into the upper tier and sucked in a breath. This guy's got guts, charging into the upper tier so fast. Since witnessing that sword strike, Tyson had been haunted by Lucas's shadow. Avoiding him felt like a weight off his shoulders. Not far behind Tyson, a 4-person team trailed, led by Mia Stone and Leo Hunt. They'd killed a few unranked beasts before spotting Tyson and following him to rack up exploration points. But they hadn't expected to run into Lucas here. Mia, is that Lucas? 2 teammates, also from Luoqing No. 1 High School, recognized him instantly. He's alone and heading to the upper tier? Looks like he's got some skill. Mia and Leo saw him too. Their eyes burned with resentment. How could Lucas, alone, breeze through the middle tier and aim for the upper one? Was he insane? A cruel glint flashed in Mia's eyes. Probably just luck. He didn't run into any beasts in the middle tier. Daring to go to the upper tier? He's dead meat. Mia genuinely wanted Lucas dead. But with drones monitoring the battlefield, Leo couldn't make a move. If Lucas died to a beast, though, that'd be perfect. Just then, a voice caught Mia's attention. Mia, come quick. At the speaker's feet lay a massive beast corpse. A level 1 shadow demon leopard. Its fur's intact, one-shot kill. 1/split its skull. That's terrifying strength. Mia and Leo exchanged glances, shocked. Leo, could it be Lucas? Mia scolded. Him? That trash with 10 vitality points? No way he's that strong. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Her teammates suggested, check the leaderboard. To their shock, when they opened Mount Lao Jun's combat rankings, Lucas's name was right there. Rank 10, Lucas Reed. 275 points. Mia's legs went weak. When did he get this strong? At the base of Mount Lao Jun, teachers and school leaders closely monitored the leaderboard, with drones broadcasting live. The principal of Luocheng Experimental High School, a grizzled, muscular old man with wild hair, spoke up. Old Chu, I heard a student from your Luoqing No. 1 High School, specially admitted to Qingbei's Research Institute, joined the martial exam. Principal Chu bristled. No way. Don't spread rumors. The other principals exchanged glances. You don't know? Sensing their seriousness, Chu hurriedly asked Ms. Nora Wade. I messaged you about it. Didn't you get it? Nora had reported this long ago. Chu nearly spat blood. His heart ached. Even in this era, where martial artists were revered, top scientists held high status. For any school, a student specially admitted to Qingbei's Research Institute was a massive win. Luoqing no. One high school had finally produced one, only for this to happen. And the principal was the last to know. The shock was too much. Chu's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed. The other principals didn't help. They mocked him. Who's got bad breath? Come slap old Chu awake. I'm on it. Just ate a kilo of durian. Huh. But then, a name on the leaderboard began skyrocketing. It's Lucas Reed. Nora gasped. More and more eyes locked onto his name as his points surged at an unbelievable rate. In moments, he jumped from beyond the top 1,000 to 50th. He's passed 20 people already. His points are still climbing. My God, Lucas is in the top 10. Outside, everyone fixated on the name, soaring up the ranks. Lucas Reed. Lucas hit the top 10. Nora exclaimed. Principal Chu, still on the ground, shot up. Near death, he forced himself to stand. Staring at the top 10 leaderboard, he muttered, Lucas, good. Then he fainted again, overwhelmed by excitement, blood pressure spiking. Medics rushed to revive him. Nora stared at Lucas's points. This defies logic. Lucas's last vitality test, 6 months ago, showed only 10 points. How could he get this strong in half a year? Even cheating couldn't explain it. Unlike Luocheng No. 1's shocked faculty, the experimental high school's principal remained calm. Just top 10? Is that worth the fuss? Our elite class holds 8 spots. Amid the commotion, all eyes turned to Lucas. Even Wulong, the military overseer, had a glint in his eyes. Drones located Lucas, and the big screen shifted from an elite student to him. There he stood, but he was surrounded by a pack of beasts. Panic swept the crowd. Run, Lucas. Those are level 1 beasts, and even a level 2. Nora's face paled. Did he ignore his watch's alerts? Is he crazy, charging into the upper tier alone, when a beast pack appeared? The watch issued special warnings. Why wasn't he fleeing? Wulong's expression hardened. Send a team to the upper tier. Be ready to rescue him. Looking at the 20-plus green dots and 1 red dot on his map, Lucas sighed. Another low-tier beast pack. This map was garbage, leading him on detours and straight into beasts. If he weren't so strong, others would have been forced to quit by now. In a flash, Lucas vanished, diving into the pack. Shadow Demon Wolves, a pack of level 1 beasts. Fast and armed with razor-sharp claws. Over 20 wolves encircled him, led by a level 2 beast. A blinding sword arc flashed through the forest. The lead wolf was sliced in half from its forehead. Wolves had hard heads, but soft waists. Splitting a shadow demon wolf's head required at least peak level 3 strength. Blood sprayed. The wolves, poised to swarm Lucas, froze, sensing danger and starting to retreat. Beasts weren't as smart as humans, but their instincts were sharp. They knew this man was dangerous. Too late. Lucas flickered, his sword light dancing through the forest. Each strike was precise, as if the wolves were offering their heads. In moments, 20 level 1 shadow demon wolves and 1 level 2 wolf lay dead. Blood and gore flowed down the mountainside. Congratulations, candidate. Killed level 2 shadow demon wolf, plus 50 points. Congratulations, candidate. Killed level 1 shadow demon wolf, plus 10 points. Despite the map's flaws, this pack sent Lucas's rank soaring. In an instant, he hit 5th place.